Assalamualaikum dear students, welcome to Ford Public School e-learning class 8. This is your chemistry subject. You're learning chapter number 2, that is structure of atom, and I'm your teacher Yamna Khan. So the topic that we'll be discussing today is the Rutherford's atomic model. Take out page number 42 in your books and let's start our new topic, that is the Rutherford's atomic model. As in Dalton's atomic theory, there were no explanation about the number of electrons or protons in an atom. So, to overcome this, in 1911, Rutherford performed an experiment in order to know the arrangement of electrons and protons in an atom. Rutherford is famous for the Goldfield experiment, that is also called the discovery of nucleus. Rutherford performed an experiment to determine the internal structure of an atom in 1911. Underline the date. Now let's see how is it constructed. For this purpose, he used a thin 0.00004 centimeter gold foil. Gold foil is a very thin sheet of foil, as you can see the number. The gold foil was surrounded by photographic plate or zinc sulfide fluorescent screen to detect the particles emitting from the radiation. Emitting means निकलना, coming out, and radiations are the rays, या फिर आप उसको शुआएं कह सकते हैं. So what is photographic plate or a fluorescent screen? Photographic plate is a flat sheet of metal or glass on which a photographic image can be recorded. And fluorescent screen is which gives off light when it is hit by waves or the rays. Both of them are light sensitive, so when the rays hit it, they can be easily observed. Now let's see how is the experiment performed. He bombarded the gold foil with alpha particles. Alpha particles are the heavy particles which are having double positive charges from a radioactive force that was polonium metal, and they were 20,000 in number. So this is how it looks like. Here we have polonium, which is the radioactive source for the alpha particles. The polonium metal is contained in the lead container so that it can only hit the gold foil directly, and the alpha particles are emitting from the polonium metal. So he observed that most of the alpha particles, that is 19,990, passed through the gold foil without change in any direction. So most of the alpha particles were passing directly through the gold foil और वो undeflected straight उससे pass हो रहे थे. So what did he conclude? It showed that most of this volume occupied by the atom is empty. इससे हमारे पास ये कंक्लूड हुआ कि एटम में काफ़ी सारा स्पेस एम्प्टी है, इसलिए काफ़ी सारे रेज जो हैं वो उससे एटम से स्ट्रेटली पास हो रहे थे विदाउट एनी डिफ्लेक्शन. After that, some particles that were 8 in number were deflected through small angles. There were some of them which were deflecting through small angles, and only few that were 2 in number were bounced back at their original way. Bounce back means वापस जाना, so उसके साथ टकरा कर वापस उससे deflect हो रहे थे. So what did he conclude from this? Rutherford concluded that an atom contains a positive portion, that is the nucleus in the center of the atoms. So alpha particles that are having the double positive charges passing near this portion would be repelled, because the alpha particles are also positively charged particles and similar charges repel each other. You already know that same charges repel each other and opposite charges attract each other. So when the alpha particles were passing near the nucleus, which is containing the positively charged protons, they are having protons. If they pass near to the nucleus, they'll be deflected back or they'll be repelled, as both of them are having positive charges. Come to the next page. The next conclusion were, if alpha particles pass very closely to the nucleus, they deflect through the large angles. As you can see like this, they are deflecting through the large angles. Similarly, if they do not pass close to the nucleus, they either get deflected through very small angles and do not get deflected at all. As you can see here, many of the rays were passing directly through it and they were not deflected back, मतलब bounce back नहीं हो रहे थे या फिर वापस नहीं जा रहे थे, straight जा रहे थे. So on this basis of his conclusion drawn from the experiment, he proposed a new model of the atom called planetary model, which is similar to the solar system. सो रदरफोर्ड ने ये कंक्लूड किया कि जो एटम है दैट इज़ जस्ट लाइक द planets around the sun. बीच में sun होता है and planets are revolving around the sun. Similarly, there is positively charged protons which is inside the nucleus, and outside they are having the electrons. Now, what are the main points of the Rutherford's atomic model? The first point is atom consists of positively charged central portion called the nucleus, and it contains protons and neutrons. The second point is electrons are revolving around the nucleus with very high speed, just like planets around the sun. Here you can see the Rutherford's atomic model. In the middle we are having the nucleus which contains positively charged protons and the neutral neutrons, and around it we are having the electrons which are the negatively charged particles. Moving on to the next point, that is the electrons are revolving around the nucleus which would require centripetal force. Now what is centripetal force? Centripetal force is the force to keep the object moving in circular path. As you can see, electrons are revolving in the circular path. It is directed towards the center of the rotation. So, the attractive force of the nucleus on the electrons provide the centripetal force to the electrons. Because of the centripetal force, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular path and in circular motion. Point number 4 is the size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the size of the atom, and most of the volume occupied by the atom is empty. So you can see the size of the nucleus is very small as compared to the whole atom, and most of the space you can see over here is empty in an atom. The next point is atom is neutral as the number of electrons is numerically equal to that of number of protons. You already know that the number of electrons are always equal to the number of protons. That is why both of the charges cancel out their effect and the atom gets neutral. The last point is nucleus is responsible for the mass and energy of an atom. As you already know that most of the space in an atom is empty, so basically the mass of an atom is due to the nucleus and all of the energy is contained inside the nucleus of an atom. Now come to the next page, that is page number 44. Here we are having some defects of Rutherford's atomic model. Defects mean खराबियाँ कि Rutherford's atomic model में क्या क्या limitations थे या फिर उसमें क्या क्या खराबियाँ थी जो कि यहाँ पे explain की गई हैं. So Rutherford's atomic model of an atom resembles our solar system. It has the following defects. The first defect is Rutherford's atomic model is based on the laws of motion and gravitation which is applicable to the neutral bodies and not to the charged bodies. But if you notice, in atom we speak about the charged bodies जैसे कि protons हैं, electrons हैं, they are charged bodies, they are not neutral bodies, and the laws of motion and gravitation are only for the neutral bodies, they are not acceptable for the charged bodies. So for the charged bodies there is another theory, that is the Maxwell theory. So according to Maxwell theory, electrons are charged bodies revolving around the nucleus and should emit energy continuously. Maxwell theory में कहा गया है कि if charged bodies are revolving around the nucleus, so there must be the energy which should be released continuously. So the electron will move on the circular path and ultimately fall in the nucleus. However, this does not happen. अगर इलेक्ट्रॉन continuously energy emit कर रहा है, release कर रहा है, तो it will be moving round and round and ultimately it will fall inside the nucleus when it loses all of its energy. But you know very well that this kind of thing doesn't happen in the atom. The next effect is if electrons radiate energy continuously, then continuous spectrum will be obtained, but actually line spectrum is obtained. Now what is spectrum and what is continuous spectrum and line spectrum? So spectrum is just like a graph showing the release of energy with 7 different colors. Alright, now there are 2 types of spectrum. There is continuous spectrum and line spectrum. Let's see what is continuous spectrum. A continuous spectrum is the one in which the release of energy is showed by the colors and that are merged together. All of the colors are merged together. There are no spaces in between. Now the next one is line spectrum. In the line spectrum, the colors are not merged together and they have black lines in between them, as you can see that. So the black lines shows that while the energy was releasing, there were gaps in between. So according to Rutherford, the electrons are revolving continuously and they are continuously releasing the energy. So according to this, the energy, the spectrum that should be obtained would be the continuous spectrum. But actually, what do we get? We get the line spectrum. which was the major drawback of the Rutherford's atomic model. Moving on to the next one, it does not provide any explanation about the chemical properties of the elements. Rutherford's atomic model, although he explained about the motion of electrons in the orbits or the energy levels, but he didn't explain anything about the chemical properties, that how the atoms of the elements are combined together chemically. So these were some defects of Rutherford's atomic model, due to which this model was rejected. Now here we have Society, Technology and Science. Let's read that. Rutherford in 1911 performed an experiment and proposed a model of an atom. All right, these suggestions remains unchallenged for a long time. In 1911, when Rutherford performed these experiments and presented his model, many of the scientists were unable to challenge this model and his theory. But as the time passed, there were many complications, as you can see, that were in the Rutherford's atomic model. But this model could not explain the stability of an atom and line spectrum of an atom. इस मॉडल में स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ एन एटम की कोई भी बात नहीं की गई थी. ही सेड दैट electrons radiate energy. If they radiate energy, all of the atom is going to collapse, as the electron is going to move in a circular path and it is going to fall inside the nucleus. So that means that an atom is unstable. So he didn't explain anything about the stability of an atom or the line spectrum that is obtained from the release of the energy. Then there came Niels Bohr. He leaped over this difficulty by using the quantum theory of radiations, and that was proposed by Maxwell Planck. Niels Bohr ने इस difficulty को ख़त्म कर दिया था. How? He proposed his theory by using the Maxwell Planck's theory. So Bohr's atomic theory explains nicely the stability of an atom and also explains why an atom gives the line spectrum. He explained all of the defects that were there in the Rutherford's atomic model. Development of Bohr's atomic model explains how interpretations of results of experiments of other scientists help the chemists to formulate new explanations and theories. Interpretation of results means natija akhaz karna. So Bohr explained in his theory that how other scientists' formulae and concepts can help you explain new theories and concepts. So this was the end of the lecture. I hope you understood the lecture well. We'll be discussing Niels Bohr's atomic theory in the next video. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.